let's see. And keep in mind, these are all MSI products, which is pretty rad. Yeah, so Chroma wanted me to tell you guys that the the face is, you know, the Kronii face. If I can go back a bit. Yes, this amazing moment. That's because there was there was a reflection, and Chroma was like, "Nope, not today. Denied." Yeah, so it's pretty smart. Thank you, Chroma. And not only that, yes, it doesn't end there. It has an Audio Boost 5 with its audio processor. And a lot of people don't realize this, but depending on your sound card, your audio experience can be limited. So it's kind of reassuring to know you can get the most out of any headphones you plan on using. Well, no. So yeah, sound quality will be important for not just audio output, but also audio input. So like for voice recording and whatnot. And yeah, these are very important. And for this motherboard in specific, the audio connectors are separated in their own area so that there's, you know, almost no noise interference, keeping your voice crisp. And this is very important for streamers. And I know from personal experience, I need to get like good cables and whatnot for audio so that I don't get as much audio interference. Sometimes, like, what I mean by audio interference is that you might hear some static going on, and that's pretty much the reason why people get an audio interface, because oftentimes the computer can't support like high audio quality, and that's why you get an audio interface. But if there's already one that's good, you know. give me a second before you unpack Chroma. I gotta think. It was an all-in-one liquid cooler, and like I just said, you know, these are included so that you can dissipate the heat. And if you're streaming for a long time and running so many things at once, your computer is going to get hot and start to slow down. And liquid cooling, in my opinion, is kind of a must. Like, you can also have other coolers, like the air cooling, but in my personal opinion, when I use liquid cooling, it was a lot more quiet.
Alright, next up. Oh, this is the dedicated RAM. Here, this is Kingston Fury Beast. And this is 8 gigabyte DDR5. Whoa, 6,000 megahertz. Dang. This is actually pretty good. Man, when I first started messing around with PC and PC parts, I didn't know that like the RAM had to be matching and stuff. And I didn't know, you know, like how big RAM sticks should be. So if you guys don't know, usually if you have like 16 gigs of RAM, it's split into 8 and 8, right? 8 gigs per stick. Okay. So if you have even more than that, right? If you have like 32 gigs of RAM, you're gonna have 4 sticks usually. So anyways, when I built my first PC, I was like, oh, well, you know, I'm gonna upgrade my RAM, and I have this old RAM from my pre-built PC. I'm just gonna put them in the same motherboard. That'll totally work, right? Nuh-uh. Nope. Not gonna work. Or you could get 2 or 16. Yeah. It can get confusing. I don't want to confuse people that don't know PC stuff. You know what I mean? You cannot mix and match RAM, okay? But for this bare minimum setup, 16 gigs is gonna get you there. Yeah, everybody, I mean, if you're just doing normal gaming stuff, or if you're just doing normal office stuff, this is like overkill. 16 gigs of RAM is overkill. I honestly, with how many programs that I use at the same time, I probably need like 64 gigs of RAM. Next up, this is what we were talking about before. So in this guide for, you know, if you want to be a VTuber, the bare minimum streaming setup, we have this 4 terabyte NVMe M2 drive. So this is a lot. I 100% wish that I had built any of my PCs. Well, actually I did build a PC recently that does have M2 drive. But if you guys are building a new PC, just start off with something like this. You're not gonna regret it, okay? You're gonna regret anything else. It's just easy. Yeah, 4 terabytes is like really good. You're not gonna run out of space for probably a year or 2. So yeah, this is a really good investment. It does cost a little bit more. You can always go for a smaller drive if you don't really need something this big. But it's gonna handle like everything, you know, your games. If you're editing videos, you know, that'll hold a lot of stuff.
Okay, the next thing that I did, this is something that I really wanted to touch on. The pros and cons of being a VTuber. This is very important. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. VTubing's not for everyone, and it's really important, especially if you're looking to get into this as a main career choice. It is something to consider, because it's not for everyone. I would say if you're just interested in it as a hobby, definitely go for it, try it out and see if you like it. But I really think you should try it out first before deciding whether you want this to become your main career choice, if that makes sense. And that's just coming from someone who did try it out first as a hobby and not really knowing where the future would, you know, where it would bring me and stuff like that. I really recommend just trying it out first. I am boiling right now. Australia, please calm down with your heat. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah. Next, time commitment. Oh, this one. I think this con depends on how far you want to take VTubing. Here we go. Let's unpack this a little bit. Time commitment. Building a following requires consistent content creation and engagement, which can be time consuming and not everyone's cup of tea. I would say if you're just trying VTubing out and you're just doing content creation just because you're interested in it and you have a drive and passion for it, it's gonna take up time. But there is a difference between, you know, just doing it and using time to do it as a hobby versus something that you are focusing on full time. I remember when, you know, back when I was just doing normal content creation before I joined hololive and stuff like that, like, you know, just small little things here and there. It took a lot of time, but nowhere near as much time as I put in now. And it's something to consider. You know, it's not everyone's cup of tea. And you know, it's something, it's just how much do you want to put into it? That's all, you know? And it is rough, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if there is still this misconception that all VTubers do is stream games and that's it. There's so much more that goes into that, and then if you do side projects and stuff like that, there are so many more things that you have to deal with. There's so much behind the scenes work that a lot of viewers, I don't know if, I think that misconception is slowly being, you know, understood as wrong. But I think there are still some people out there who think that VTubing is easy. If all you do is stream and play games, that still takes a lot of work, you know, mentally. There's a lot of things you have to keep track on when you stream, but then you add all the pre-work and the post-work after that. It is a big time commitment. Something else to consider if you are wanting to get into VTubing.